Hello and welcome. Today we will talk about the life and work of one of the biggest engineers in Formula One history. Today we will talk about Harvey Postlethwaite. I'm quite sure that many of the younger Formula One fans simply don't know who Harvey Postlethwaite was. But on the other hand, his life story, his work, his heritage deserve at least a Hollywood movie. We will see that nothing in his life was simply plain, simply normal, and simply easy. He entered the Formula One circus with the team Hesketh, maybe one of the most unconventional group of enthusiasts that enter this magnificent sport. He achieved a doctorate in mechanical engineering and starting to work at March in the Formula 3, Formula 2 program. And then he was picked by this group of enthusiasts with the really unconventional trick. When Harvey Postlethwaite was asked how he joined this group of people, he simply admitted with one of the most extraordinary one-liners in the whole history of Formula One. He simply admitted they made him drunk. But nevertheless, his Formula One car for the Hesketh team, the 308, was fantastic. With little resources, he made something that practically was against everything we saw in that years in the whole start lineup. His car had something that nobody else had even imagined. He looked at the suspensions and find out that making them like a rubber spring suspension could give James Hunt, the driver of the team, some advantage. And in 1974, they achieved some podiums, but in 1975, on the Dutch Grand Prix, we have a new winner. James Hunt beat all the others. But Lord Hesketh finished his money and the assets of the Hesketh team went to the Williams Wolf Enterprises, and Harvey Postlethwaite followed his car. Walter Wolf pushed Frank Williams out of the team during that year, but next year, 1977, Harvey Postlethwaite designed the WR1, the Formula One car that won the first Grand Prix that attended with Jody Scheckter behind the wheel. And here we can recognize that Harvey Postlethwaite was always able to do fantastic cars with practically nothing. No money, no resources, no help. Another great anecdote is the one that comes along a splendid personality, this British engineer. After 1979, the assets of Team Wolf were sold to Team Fittipaldi, and Harvey Postlethwaite followed. And one day, he get a phone call. A young engineer wanted an interview for a possibly future job. He came at the Fittipaldi headquarters with his bike, a Ducati 900S. He bought this motorbike with the money he gets from his grandmother, and when Harvey Postlethwaite saw him, he just asked if he can get a ride with his bike. After 15 minutes, he came back and invited the young engineer to a pub nearby where they talk about Italian style of making motor. The engineer get his job, and his name is Adrian Newey. So Harvey Postlethwaite gave Adrian Newey his first job without asking what he knew or how he will work for the team, but seeing in his spirit the right attitude. After Fittipaldi, he went to Maranello when he was personally chosen by Enzo Ferrari himself. And another fun fact is that Harvey Postlethwaite never called Enzo Ferrari with his name or surname, but he was simply the old man, with all the respect, with all the love. At Maranello, he was responsible for the 126C2 and 126C2B, the cars that won the Constructors' Crown in 1982 and 1983. But sadly, in 1982, with that car, we saw the tragic death of Gilles Villeneuve and the terrible accident of Didier Pironi. Harvey Postlethwaite wanted to understand why his car caused so much sorrow, so much pain. And especially after the Villeneuve incident, he spent a lot of time recreating that crash. At the end, he figured out that the impact was so violent that his car simply can't sustain that damage. And even if he did everything right, the fate of Gilles Villeneuve was simply something else. He stayed at Ferrari till the end of 1987, practically till the end of the life of this old man of Enzo Ferrari. And then he moved to the team of another Formula One legend, Ken Tyrrell. In 1990, we saw that his way of doing Formula One cars was still groundbreaking. On Phoenix Grand Prix, Jean Alesi with the 018 battled for a long, long time with a certain Ayrton Senna. And next year, he repeated the story on the Monaco streets, but the 019 was a groundbreaking project. Harvey Postlethwaite made the first car with the widest nose cone in the whole history Formula One. And today, many Formula One fans think that the nose cone should be of its shape. But it was Harvey Postlethwaite thinking out of any logical frame that leads the development of the Tyrrell team in the specific direction that practically moved all the Formula One in this way. After the Tyrrell years, he changed again the team, joining the Mercedes program and designing the first Formula One for the Sauber team, the C12. And the C12 was recognized as one of the most interesting cars of the year 1993. Then he joined Ferrari for the next 2 years, but he didn't enjoy the stay because instead of racing, they practically spent all days on meeting and making politics, not fast car. After that, he rejoined Tyrrell and showed us other pearls of his very vivid imagination. Maybe someone of you heard about the X-Wing car. The first one, as you probably understand, was made in the years Harvey Postlethwaite designed the Tyrrell team car. He left Tyrrell practically as the last man standing shortly after the team was bought by British American Tobacco and joined an almost secret project of Honda. They wanted to enter Formula One as a whole constructor, but first they wanted to understand if they are able to do that. They ordered chassis by the Lara. They get some engine from Mugen Honda, and then they hired Harvey Postlethwaite to form a group of people that will be the core of the new team. It was the year 1999. They start testing at the track of Barcelona. And Jos Verstappen, who was the driver of this test team, did interesting times. But suddenly, the heart of this great man stopped. And Formula One lost one of the biggest personality of the greatest man he ever had. Harvey Postlethwaite left a void behind him. He died at the age of 55. And even today, we can see his influence into today. Maybe many of you are asking why I'm doing this video, because you notice my accent. Usually I do video in my mother language, in Slovenian. And some days ago, on the video about Harvey Postlethwaite in Slovenian, I get kind request. his son, Ben, asked me if I could do that in English. I can try. And here is the result. But thank you, Ben, for making me try my poor English explaining the great story about your father. That's all. Thank you for watching this video and see you next time.